Hello friends, family, total strangers. Today's video is going to be on hostels and why I prefer hostels to hotels. So I guess we should start. I'm keeping my voice low because it's like 6 in the morning in my hostel. I'm currently in Sun Moon Lake. Let me start by explaining exactly what a hostel is, because some people might not even know. So a hostel is essentially like a bunkhouse that you can stay in instead of a hotel. So it has rooms with bunk beds. I would say the standard are either four beds, 8 beds, or 12 beds. And then usually, like, the more beds, the lower the price is for the room. So some hostels will have all 3 of those options. The current hostel I'm staying at has like 1 room with 20 beds in it, which is pretty unusual. There are advantages to hostels, but let's just talk about the disadvantages first, and that's that you're sleeping in a room with other people. You're all sleeping at different hours. So if you're a light sleeper, not ideal. You should probably have at least earplugs. But yeah, it's just a noisier environment. You know, a lot of hostel rooms are mixed. So they have men and women sleeping in them, which isn't always ideal for women. So there are a lot of hostels that have women-only rooms, and I definitely recommend those for women travelers. You know, you can sleep in the mixed and it's usually fine, but I have heard some stories that just wasn't ideal for women staying in mixed dorm bed hostels. So yeah, but there are plenty of hostels with women-only dorms. And you know, some hostels can definitely have like a party vibe, so things are going on late, so again, noise. So yeah, there are definite disadvantages to hostels. And you're sleeping in a bunk bed, single bunk bed. And sometimes the mattresses don't meet up to the quality of hotels. But we'll get into that later. I love staying in hostels. Let's really start breaking down why they're better than hotels. For me, they're cheaper. They're way cheaper. And it makes traveling affordable, because I can't afford to drop $50 a night on a motel room. I just can't afford to do that. And so when I'm only paying, you know, $10, $15 a night, it just means I can take a much longer trip, and I can spend money on food more, which is a big reason that I travel, and on, you know, getting to beautiful places and stuff. So rather than just on a bed, because that's all a hotel really is to me, is it's just a bed. And if I can get that in a hostel and pay, you know, 1/3 to 1/4 of the price, I'll take option number 2. So before I get into this too much more, I'm going to just show you some of the footage of some of my hostels that I've stayed in so far. I just recently stayed at a hostel in PULI where I got invited to dinner because I was pretty much the only guest in the hostel, and the owner was having a bunch of friends over for dinner, so he invited me to join them. So I had like this potluck Taiwanese dinner. So I'm gonna show you footage of that too. So let's get to that. This is definitely my favorite hostel of Taiwan so far as the hostel itself. It doesn't have much of an atmosphere, and most hostels here haven't. The only one that did was in Huilian. Hualien. I keep struggling with that one. But yeah, this is, as far as the facilities, this is great. It has a great view of the city. Yeah. And most importantly, if you like them and post a picture of them on Facebook, they give you a free beer. Yeah, I don't really like this hostel layout because there's no couch or comfortable place to sit. So you're just in these uncomfortable metal chairs and at these tables. So I think it's really important when booking a hostel, at least for me, to research if they have a comfortable place to hang out. Because it didn't, there really wasn't any social scene here either, so yeah. This is my somewhat superhero-centric hostel in PULI. There's more superhero paraphernalia over there. But I can already tell you I'm going to love this hostel a lot more than the last one because of the comfortable seating. So key for a hostel. Much better. And the mattress is nice and thick upstairs too. Yay!
I take them to the room they choose.
Yes, that is stinky tofu. And I have a confession to make. This will be my third time eating it because I got some at another night market a while back, and it's kind of growing on me. This is a video.
The videos. Take the video. Nice. Welcome here.
会在那边退休吗？
真的哦，真的哦，就是我
谁
觉得这样比较舒服。
说来代表世界。
哎，嘛是爱你
我那一天不小心去看到有我都刚退休的时候。
你嘛要个迄个？
我去就可以了，我会个迄个人我啦，今后还没拉，所以你。
So one of the guests at the party was an artist, and he did that drawing of me and gave it to me. So that's super cool. Yeah, his other artwork is awesome. So anyway, back to subject. Let's talk about the beds for a minute, because most of the beds have been great. And at this hostel and the hostel that I stayed in Taichung had really thin mattresses. And in the one in Taichung, I could deal with it. This one, it was like my first night. I didn't really sleep. I just tossed and turned all night, and my back was killing me when I woke up in the morning. So the hostel owner let me use. They have these cushions for the outside furniture that they pull in at night, and he let me put a couple under my mattress, so that helped out quite a bit last night. So I would say that's a huge thing when booking a hostel is see if you can see what the mattresses look like, and make sure it's a regular full-size mattress and not like a thin pad. I mean, and if you're young, that probably doesn't matter that much, but if you're 42 and you've had back problems, I need a real mattress. So the main reason that I really love hostels over hotels is just how social they are, and you get to meet people from all over the world, and fellow Americans from other parts of the country. But I've been hanging out with a guy from Germany who's super fun. I've been hanging out with a guy from Spain who's just happened to be at the same couple of hostels a couple times, and yeah, it's just a fun, diverse group of people. I met a guy from Lithuania who spoke good English and was really fun to hang out with. I met a guy from, where was he from? Bulgaria. I met a guy from Bulgaria. I met a guy from Israel. I met a girl from America. And it's just really great, like getting to hang out with people from other countries and actually get some socialization on your trip. Because a lot of times when you're traveling to a foreign country, it can be a little isolating, especially if you're a place where they don't speak the language, where you don't speak the language, like Taiwan. So hostels are really great. They're really social. Another really awesome thing about hostels is a lot of the times they'll have like a guitar or something there. So I have a guitar to play. And it's a really good environment. And sometimes it can be a party environment, and that's something that you have to research ahead of time. But the great thing about Taiwan is it's just not a party destination. This isn't where people come to have, bachelor parties like Bangkok or something. This is like, people aren't coming here to party. They're coming here to explore and eat. And people do drink here in Taiwan, but it's definitely not like a heavy drinking culture. There's not much of a bar culture. And so one of the other great things about a hostel is it's almost like a bar environment where you can sit around, chat with people, drink beer or whatever, and not have to pay bar prices. So yeah, for me, hostels are the way to go, but they don't work for everybody because of the noise levels and whatnot. And there are certain hostels that don't allow people over 35. They're just for younger people, but it's really only in a few places in Europe that I've encountered that, and for the most part, anybody's welcome at a hostel. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of my footage of Kaohsiung, which is a city in the south. So after I left Dulan, I went to Kaohsiung, and it was great. It was really hot. It was terribly hot. It was really hot. And it was also the first, city in the south. It's the first city that I went to on the West Coast. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick you to that footage. This is the Busch night market in Kaohsiung. These are shrimp with quail eggs, I think. Braised pork noodle. Yeah, never eat spicy red noodles when you're wearing a white shirt. Bad call. This is takoyaki, which is a Japanese snack, which has kind of made its way into the other markets of Asia. It's octopus balls, so it's like a batter, an egg batter with octopus, and then it's served with a wasabi sauce and another sauce. It's they're delicious. They're always piping hot though, so don't burn yourself. This is the soft tofu with brown sugar, and I got taro paste and tapioca balls to go with it. This night market is known for its seafood. It's good. I really enjoy this night market. It's a good one.
一盒70啊，4盒250。
This is papaya milk, which was, I think, popularized in this market. It's pretty good. It's interesting. So I like Kaohsiung so far. Haven't explored too much, but it seems like a really cool city. However, I will say noticeably, both how you feel and visually, it's more polluted than anywhere else I've been. I don't know if it's going to be this way the whole way along the West Coast. That was the amazing thing about Taipei, is there was virtually no pollution. It was such a clean city. But yeah, this is definitely smoggy. Riding the ferry across the bay to Shijin. Pretty cool. I was hoping for a great sunset from out here, but I don't think that's in the cards. This is Shijin Beach, which is just across the ferry in Shijin from Kaohsiung. All of those were just poorly pronounced. I just happened to run into my German friend Daniel again, randomly wandering the streets of Shijin or whatever this is called.
Shijin, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Proper beach view, because when you go here to the alley there, you have all the palms.
This was a squid sausage. It was actually quite delicious. This is the Foganshan Buddhist monastery and museum, and it's really hard to get perspective on this, but this statue I think is like 1,000 feet high, 300 meters, so really impressive. This is the Starbucks inside the Buddhist museum. Pretty funny. So that was the museum part of the property, and now we're going to try to check out the monastery part. Wow, it is super hot here walking around. But I really love the fact that there's no motorbikes or cars allowed. It's a pedestrian only zone, so that's really cool. This is a really, really awesome monastery. So it was 45 minutes by bus to get out here, about 65 Taiwan dollars, so about $2 each way. No admission fee once you're here, so definitely worth it. Definitely worth your time and a little bit of money. Beautiful. These are the botanical gardens in Kaohsiung. Very nice. This really makes the big city so much more tolerable for me, just having all of these green spaces and these amazing parks to come into and hang out and recharge my batteries before I deal with the throngs at the night markets. I think the last point I would make is just how nice it is to have a hanging out space, like a comfortable place to sit. And that's also something that you should look into before you book a hostel, is make sure it has a comfortable space, because one of the ones I showed did not. But having a comfortable place to hang out, because one of the problems with hotel rooms is you got a bed and maybe a couple of chairs, but you don't, usually you don't have like a couch, you don't have any place to lounge. So just in the hostel, having a place to lounge, having this, common room, and then you can hang out with other people if you want, but a lot of times there's places to lounge off in a little corner where you can just, get your own time and do your emails and things and just be on your own and be in a comfortable spot. So there's a lot of advantages to hostels. And there are disadvantages as well, of course, but there's disadvantages to hotels as well. So I really like the social aspects. I really like the price. And I like having a comfortable living room to hang out in rather than just a bedroom, which is what a hotel is. So, and some hotels have lobbies, but they're usually not very inviting. So, yeah, and another big thing, it's not a big deal here in Taiwan because food is so cheap I go out to eat every meal. But hostels often have kitchens, and this place does. And so they have kitchens where you can buy your own food and cook it. So if you're in a place where you're not into the local food, or if it's just expensive and you need to subsidize, when I was in France, for example, France is an expensive country and I couldn't afford to eat out every meal. So having that kitchen to be able to cook my food was awesome. So, which you won't get in a hotel unless you're paying quite a bit for a kitchenette. So, and oftentimes a kitchenette in a hotel isn't really outfitted, whereas here there's a free bin that'll have salt and pepper and other, just little things you can use, oil and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much my video. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Thanks much.